first pick right now. We'll see what Jose can do with it.
Well, let's see if EG just wants to bring back the Danny Jinx. Did pretty good there in our previous game. Was able to get excited, get those resets, make a lot of things
Doesn't he look
happen.
so excited there? Oh my God.
Oh, we're getting excited, baby. Jinx locked in for EG. What are they going to run next to it? I would expect them to put some priority on support pick here. We have no support bans. I mean, I guess you could kind of count Trundle since he's been played as a support before, but
hell yeah.
It'll be Tahm Kench next to the Jinx again for the protection.
I've played with a support LeBlanc before. It was...
Did you report him after?
It was actually an enjoyable experience. It was pretty fun. It was not a dub, but it was still enjoyable. Let's take a look here, though. Are they actually going to run it back here? Adjusting with just the Trundle and Victor bans. Very similar opening here for FlyQuest and EG. Again, as you mentioned, the Jinx TK was picked up, so it looks like FlyQuest, they might be feeling a little bit salty. It's not full salt here, but there's some sprinkles.
Okay, sprinkles run back. All right, let's see if they're going to continue along with this. Still need to see one more pick out of them. Ooh, I'm not going to get excited. I'm vibing. I don't react to hovers. But I do react to lock-ins. Renara Glasc picked up for FlyQuest.
I do like it, actually, especially because they're looking for a dive here, and Renata does well when you have other engages. So when FlyQuest in the previous game have both Volibear and Sion frontline engages, you don't really need a third one. And so they were very heavy on beefy, health and tank stats, but not a lot of damage to actually finish kills. But Renata, if you have other engagers, she can apply her steroid to the melees that are on the front lines, getting their takedowns. Also can open up space for actually using that ult, because it's terribly slow. So oftentimes it's pretty hard to use that ult. But when you do have other engagement on your team from jungle and from top lane, then it can actually allow you some pretty nifty uses for zone control and for setting up some more of these opportunities.
Well, remember last game, Azir was banned out in the second phase by FlyQuest. This time around, Jojo will be piloting the Chicken King. If you thought Jinx was some scary scaling...
Chicken Emperor to you, sir?
My bad. The Chicken Emperor, along with the Jinx, two of the hardest scaling carries in their roles in League of Legends. Woo.
True. I'm also kind of scared because the Azir does something that the Victor does not do and provides that sweep of peel. Jojo is very aggressive and oftentimes will go for the Azir sweeps offensively.
Yeah, the shuffle.
Especially on his lane opponent in lane phase. But it's a very strong tool. When you have Azir wall as well as TK for peeling for the Jinx on backline, that's one of the reasons like that combo is very difficult to deal with. Gravity field, for one thing, for Victor, is just not quite the safety as Azir. But anyways, the two other bans, when you pick Azir, you usually are worried about getting poked out. It's been true for the entire history of this champion. Anything that outranges you and pokes you. Veigar's Cage can outrange you, and Corki's Rockets can outrange you. So two good protection bans there from EG. And there's the Viego we were talking about as well. Picked up for Inspired. Remember, this is the one he got a pentakill on in his MVP year in the LEC. So very, very threatening triple carry comp so far for Evil Geniuses.
Orange back.
The tanks will start to come through. We kind of expected that from the early Trundle ban. As well as the pivot to Renata. This time around, just two frontline meatballs and tanks to have that engaged. And the layers this time, I think, are much better for FlyQuest. This is basically a better version of last game draft for FlyQuest. So they've made some tweaks.
The audible disappointment from the people in the studio at another Orianna picked up for toucouille.
Also, not a great delivery system, so toucouille is going to have to do his own shockwave maneuvering this time around. He actually had some pretty good shockwaves, but not much left on the rest of the team. I, too, kind of feel with the crowd there that getting toucouille on something with mobility was a lot better of a look for them,
Yeah.
We will see, because he has been the focus of a lot of ganks, and that's probably what the groans are about. The crowd gets God vision and gets to see all the supports and junglers coming towards mid lane, the Shark circling, burning his flash over and over, and I don't expect this game to be any different. toucouille should expect a lot of focus there.
Well, we've got 4 very high damage champions plus a Kench on EG. Gwen in the top lane, Azir mid, Jinx bot, Viego in the jungle. Any one of these 4 champions can absolutely take over the game, but all 4 of these champions can also struggle more than others when they fall behind.
Also, this game is going to be a domino effect. This is a race for first blood of every team fight, Flowers. There are revives on both sides. There are resets on both sides. One person goes down and the team fight crumbles for the team that...
And now they've got to find the win here if they want a chance to take us to Silver Scrapes, take us to Game 5. And then we got that. Dread it, run from it. TSM arrives all the same.
All right, let's take a look here. Any early vision going down? Jose does get sight of Inspired, but just the early ward drop in the river recall. As long as you recall from anywhere from 50 seconds to up to 53, you have plenty of time to get your sweeper as a jungler and get right back out before your jungle camp spawn to start your clear. So you can get the maximum out of your yellow trinket ward, which he drops just over there in the river, as well as then being able to get your sweepers. So nothing crazy to start it out. I think EG would rather have it start out very neutral here with the possibilities that they have set up. Again, we'll see about Jojo specifically, because on Azir, he has also gone for, guess what,
I was going to
Captain
ask
Flowers?
you this.
It is Airy, Scorch, Absolute Focus, Time Warp Tonic, and Biscuits. So this is lane dominant Azir. This is not the old kind of must-scale lethal tempo Azir. And bottom lane is also...
This is turning into a battle very quickly. Stun onto Johnsun. Oh, one more! Vulcan wants the lick! He got him! It's first blood. Evil Geniuses in the bot lane. 2v2 at level 1. Aphromoo slowed down now too. Vulcan is hungry, but he cannot do enough damage in time. FlyQuest lose all 4 summoners and the life on their AD carry.
Nobody cares about the mid lane runes when bottom lane have fire pumping through their blood. Evil Geniuses chase down Johnsun. No summoner spells left in the entire bottom lane of this game. Elimination game for FlyQuest. And EG just pound them on the bottom side first here. Blood going down. Honestly, the fight over the vision starts very early. Sweeper goes out, Vulcan's into the lane, and Tahm Kench can be very, very aggressive, especially level 1 there with the Qs coming through. So Danny doesn't back off. He gets good splash damage there with the rockets as well. Once the ignite goes down, Vulcan is much closer to Johnsun, has the slow from his tongue too, and flashes forward under tower to finish it. Meanwhile, Danny was able to flash far away from Aphromoo, so no counter kill on the side of FlyQuest. And this is going to have a tremendous effect on your dragon control as well, because EG getting this money, even though it's onto the Tahm Kench, does make for a much beefier early game for the Tahm Kench. Soak a lot more damage, and you can continue to threaten these all-ins. Even though he is a melee champion, the Q for Tahm Kench is insane harassment. Just makes his lane so much more powerful than many of the other melee champions, especially when you're trying to deal even with double range.
Yo, they got the whole team in the audience with them. I like that.
Pissed over there. They got a pissed Impact.
He's ready to win, man. He's ready to go. He's tired of laning against this Ornn. He's ready to go. FlyQuest have their jungler hanging out up in the top side, but hey, Vulcan's ready to go in bottom. Remember, there's no summoner spells down here. Vulcan continues walking forward, finds the slow. Chomper's arm in time. Flash stun with a Spectral Maw. Inspired finds a second kill for Evil Geniuses. Meanwhile, top side, Impact will die to the gank from JoseDeodo.
This feels very similar to last game, Flowers, where the early stages, both junglers, successful ganks. Inspired makes 100% sense. There's no summoner spells on bottom side. Mid lane, though, Jojo doesn't have much mana, but toucouille doesn't have much life.
Yeah, that's a bit of a problem. Both mid laners running pretty low on resources here. Both still have teleports up, so they'll be able to just clear out their waves, go back, shop up. But I love how explosive this early game already is.
Yeah, I mean, Inspired well punishes the no summoner spells on bottom side. Vulcan, Tahm, Kench, again, the Q is massive for lanes with no summoner spells. You land that slow, and Inspired can run all the way down through lane, gets there in time to flash stun. Beautiful follow-up from him. You know, Flame Chomper's arming in time there for Danny as well, really working in tandem. Honestly, though, the response on the top side from Jose was also very impressive, getting the kill onto the Gwen early. It's still going to be a lot of CS still picked up by Impact, so he actually didn't get hurt too much by the timing of that kill and gets back in time for the entire wave at his turret. Gwen still gets at least the experience and gold necessary to continue scaling.
Yup, that's scaling Gwen. We'll see how well that'll work as the game goes forward, but right now, eyes are once again on toucouille in the mid lane. Vulcan, always looking for this angle, man, especially against this Orianna. Kumo finding a little bit on the impact here, not a whole lot. Vulcan's gonna walk back towards bottom, but JoseDeodo is here and waiting. Tahm Kench isn't too great at running away. Will be able to get himself over the wall there at least, so he's good enough to escape and live to see another day. FlyQuest now starting up what I believe is our earliest first Drake of the series by a significant margin.
I just want to shout out FlyQuest on using information to their advantage. Let's go over that play real quick. That was position revealed, killing this ward. So what do? Immediately into the fog of war, waiting behind here to set up the trap. And your rewards, even though Vulcan gets away with his life, is the dragon. You chunk him out so heavily, the bottom lane cannot collapse. So very smart usage of the information that they have, even though the wards are getting cleared out by Jose and Aphromoo there. Definitely props to them, even though it doesn't result in a kill for FlyQuest.
Mid lane, Mercury Treads rush for Jojo, respecting his opponent, respecting the CC across multiple different champions on the FlyQuest squad for later on in the game. Meanwhile, it's a tier plus Dark Seal plus Corrupting Pot and then tier 1 boots for toucouille, opting for a lot of those early game laning items to make sure he's in as good a shape as he can be. It's been a pretty rough series for him overall, and he obviously wants to be able to have a good showing here in this fourth game, take us to a game number 5. Kumo going in after Impact. Evil Genius is under some pressure here in the bottom lane. 2v2, Aphromoo slamming Vulcan and Danny together, making it so Johnsun's able to find some good damage back onto him. Johnsun really taking Danny low there.
That was actually beautiful synergy. I like that you're calling it out because you're referring to Aphromoo handshaking them together to get the splash on the Infernum gun from Johnsun, but then he actually runs through his Infernum gun as we got a dive here. Level 6 jungler is about to flash.
Well, there's the Volibear Thunder that's going to see Inspired waiting. So now that they know Viego's down here, they don't want to commit to the 3-man dive. Even if JoseDeodo is able to turn off that turret, the best thing you're probably getting is a 1-for-1. And then if the worst case scenario happens, Viego goes to reset city and everybody dies. So
that's definitely a bad thing.
Yeah, if you're FlyQuest at least. If you're Evil Geniuses, you're pretty happy with it.
Pretty
but
terrible.
They're not going to go for that.
It does remind me of something I was talking about in Champ Select about the importance of stopwatches, though. And so that's why I actually really like, in this instance, even though not every Volibear game should be a Zhonya's Volibear game, when both teams are worried about resets because of Viego ultimate, because of Jinx passive, because of Renata in the game as well. So many takedown reset options in these team fights. Those stopwatches are very important, and Volibear does have AP ratio, so you can go with not only a stopwatch early for Volibear for Jose, but you can also even upgrade it into Zhonya's later on and still get pretty good value out of it.
Yep.
Because of your AP ratios and the ability to continually stasis and combo break those team fights from EG.
FlyQuest are going after the Herald. Super Mega Death Rocket, nice attempt at the steal, but not close enough. FlyQuest secure that one. JoseDeodo will have that in his inventory. All 4 minutes won't take us past the 14 mark, which means as long as they use it in a decent spot, they will be able to get the plate money for it. Evil Geniuses, talking about money though, 1,500 gold ahead of their opponents. Big farm lead in both the jungle and top lane for these guys. Kumo's freezing the wave though.
Yeah, freeze it down with the ice and then burn it down with your fiery burp as we've...
I'm glad you like the burp so much.
As we've turned it. Gragas is still my favorite burp. The man...
I mean, Gragas is like definitive burp. It's he burps from the diaphragm.
I'm just waiting for one time. Maybe they coded in like a 1 in a million chance that Gragas, a little something extra comes out with that burp, and there's just spittle on the ground.
Dude, are you talking about Gragas puking on his lane?
Maybe. You know,
What
the man
is
is
going-
constantly drinking alcohol. It's dangerous.
You gotta remember to stay hydrated.
Yeah,
everybody.
exactly. Put some water in that barrel for once. Jeez, man.
Maybe that's what it is the entire time. It's just purple water.
Oh, okay. Yeah, everybody had it wrong. It's
Kool-Aid. Yes! Oh, I've missed this. Anyway, Evil Geniuses, that gold lead shrank back down to about 1,000 here, but they still have a good lead for themselves. Impact, despite the death early on from JoseDeodo hanging out here in the brushes, making that gank happen, is doing just fine up against the Ornn of Kumo. Down there in the jungle, you can see Inspired still moving forward, working towards that Divine Sunderer. Should be able to find a lot of value on that item against targets like Volibear, targets like the Ornn. Kumo's not too scared of Impact up here either, though. Inspired's going to make his way down towards bottom. The mist comes out, and that means Johnsun and Aphromoo have to back away until they're reinforced. Topside, Impact finding a lot of damage onto Kumo, but not enough to actually put him within kill range. As JoseDeodo's coming down bottom, Aphromoo looks for a little bit of damage and CC on Danny, but can't quite get it. JoseDeodo's still running around here. It's a very, very fast bear, but not fast enough to make a play onto Danny or Vulcan just yet. You can see in our picture-in-picture in the bottom left, the pressure remains up there in the top side as Impact wants to get the wave shoved in, but Kumo clears it out. It doesn't look like we're going to get a whole lot down here in bottom either, but JoseDeodo's presence does allow FlyQuest to shove out that wave.
Yeah, pretty good defense there. Plenty of vision for Evil Geniuses. They see an approach of Volibear well in advance. They're able to hold on to their gold lead while probably giving up more dragons. Topside though, Kumo.
Ooh, nice aim. Ooh, Kumo forcing out the flash in a 1v1. Okay.
Beware the brittle flowers. Ornn may look like a nice, forge master over there, but when you've got a grass proc and then brittle on top of your head, the burst damage that comes out of that hammer is enough to get a flash out of Impact.
Hey, that's good stuff. Impact without that extra mobility the next time he needs it for a 1v1 or to join a larger fight. Remember, we are about 2 minutes away from teleports becoming unlocked. FlyQuest already have the first 2 Drakes of the game in their possession. It is a Hextech Soul again. That is absolutely a win condition if they're able to play towards it, get those secured, and Evil Geniuses will have to answer.
This made me think, what was the third word? Because it's Unleash, Ignite, and that ad that we had. What was the third one? Does anybody know? There were random words. There's Unleash, Ignite, and something else.
Teleport.
It's not teleport. I'm pretty sure Twitch chat is probably spamming it right now. I wish we could check.
Sorry, Twitch chat. We're not allowed to talk to you guys during the show because it would distract us from this conversation we're having right now.
Beam it over to me.
Yeah.
Beam it.
Oh, Unleash. Unleash. Producers just told me it's Unleash, which
Wait,
is half of Teleport. I was right.
Didn't I say Unleash? Unleash, Ignite. Those were the 2 that we had.
Oh, Uprise.
Yes. See, Troll, they're not even listening to us.
Well,
Uprise. Okay.
that means that I was still right because they said it. So anyway, that's what were you trying to think of this for? What was the entire origin of this?
Because you said unlock teleports instead of unleash teleports. Meanwhile, the Rift Herald is used on top side. Plenty of time for those plates. They're all going into Johnsun. Even though the entire bottom turret during our crisis here, where we were trying to remember the words in the ad, went over to Evil Geniuses and they increased their lead.
All right, so Evil Geniuses, they got a pretty nice lead right now, and teleports coming into the top lane. Tier 1 turret as Impact's trying to stand and fight against JoseDeodo, but over the wall comes Jojopyun. JoseDeodo using that stopwatch, keeping himself alive in what otherwise would have been a very dangerous situation. The top lane Tier 1 falls 30 seconds before plating is gone, and we're back to where we started. 1,000 gold lead for EG.
1,000 gold lead, but a 2 dragon lead for FlyQuest. So evening up a decent amount of it with the push, with the Herald on top side, finishing off the turret, not losing anyone in this instance, and setting themselves up. 2.5 minutes on the arrival of the next dragon. Kumo here, just leveling along there on Ornn. Hasn't died to the Gwen yet. Riftmaker's pretty close to getting completed for Impact though. So once Gwen starts to get, 1 item, it starts to get a little tricky, but 2 items is really where Gwen starts to rip through people.
And Ornn is not going to have a very fun time dealing with Azir down here as the answer to the split push, but Impact will just have to walk it off as he's now got to deal with a ranged threat as well in Johnsun, and Aphromoo being rotated up into the top part of the map. Lots of vision for FlyQuest around this Herald pit right now. You can see wards on the back edge, wards in the tri-brush, wards in the river. They've got a lot of control over this area. Inspired's going to walk up now. EG does have that one ward in the brush on the back part of the red buff pit. Inspired walking forward is going to see both Aphro and Jose waiting there. FlyQuest go in and start up the Herald here for themselves.
Interesting. There's a teleport advantage on FlyQuest, but they're calling Azir up. So EG want to contest this one. They're having
Too late.
Jojo walk all the way up. So they commit the resources, but don't get there in time.
Yeah, that was just not enough. Let's see if they can find something on the back end of it. Spectral Maw doesn't hit anything. So EG brings Jojo up for nothing.
Very good for FlyQuest, and they're able to clear the wave as well. toucouille was able to get back in a safe route towards mid lane. They clear out the wave. They didn't have to use Kumo's teleport either, so they had a little bit of a discrepancy in lane assignments, Flowers, as the Azir, the far one away, does cost Evil Geniuses the attempt on the top Herald, and so FlyQuest, all of the neutral objectives in this game, both Heralds and both early Dragons, have gone their way thus far, but really the backbreaker is the next one. 40 seconds left on this Dragon, and this is well in advance of the scaling coming in, you know, and the Ornn items getting handed out, so it really matters if you're able to hit that knockup. Let's see about it. Danny, by far the richest person in this game.
Oh yeah, 6,500 gold there on the Jinx. Gale Force, Berserker Greaves, 2 long swords, no ward in inventory. But it will be Evil Geniuses with first control over the bottom side river. FlyQuest have multiple men in the bottom lane, pushing up towards the tier 1. Second Herald summoned up, kills the tier 1 turret from this health threshold. All they need to do is get the charge. Roars back, slams head. Aw, damn it. It was really close. I'm going to give myself that one. Anyway, Evil Geniuses seeing if maybe they can find something else here. Soldiers fly forward. FlyQuest backs away. You need to be careful about the positioning of those soldiers. They don't all want to get scooped in.
All of this time is kind of helping FlyQuest because Kumo has teleport and he's pushed in topside. They go for it.
JoseDeodo trying to make a move, gets thrown back by the soldiers. Aphromoo is going to take a lot of damage here, throws out the hostile takeover, but it doesn't get much of anything. JoseDeodo is going to be your next target as Impact goes on the chase, and Jose falls to the needlework. Inspired wants to stay alive, but he can't quite do it. Jojo takes one with him, but he finally falls. EG's got a 3v2 now, but Vulcan's going to be taken very low. toucouille looking to kite him out and fight him out as Danny's supplying the DPS from downrange. He finds one onto Kumo, and toucouille is the last man standing. The Orianna tries, but will he get anything? The point-blank zap, and EG takes all 5.
Danny has been crushing it for EG, Flowers. Richest man in the game, and he plays it to perfection there. Finishes the fight with 50 HP. Doesn't allow the Orianna ball to chip him down. Beautiful stuff. This guy has done so much work for Evil Geniuses, and he's been grinding at it. Champions queue every single day this week. EG here with the series point in their hands. 2.4 thousand gold lead. Dragon's about to be broken here. The string for FlyQuest as EG will take their rewards.
Yep, they weren't able to get the Drake right after the fight, but it's not like FlyQuest were able to rush back out to the map and steal it away from them. So the soul stack is now denied. EG up 2,500 gold. Pretty chaotic fight down there in bottom, and it really sort of highlighted what you were talking about at the very beginning there. Aphromoo dies first. He doesn't get any value out of the bailout, and then EG go on the offensive.
And we'll take a look at it, because what he kind of gets is a little bit of delay on the reset for Inspired. So Aphromoo gets focused down first. He bails himself out from the ultimate, and so then Inspired can immediately pick up his soul, but then he gets killed anyways, like you're saying. And so Inspired then picks up the body, doesn't use his reset quite in time there on top of Johnsun, so he goes down. And then the only real carries left up are Impact, toucouille, and Danny. So 2v1 on the carries. The front line just gets melted here. And look at this from Danny. The zap hits, so he uses the speed to kite all the way to the outside. And he kind of baits in toucouille there. And toucouille goes for the flash play onto him. Can't finish it as EG pull over the front line as well, peeling for him. And Danny gets out with 50 HP. toucouille's flash is down in addition to the dragon getting picked up, and they're right back at it.
Ooh, Impact popping his ulti there, forcing Jose to use his own ult defensively to get away from that one, as the rest of Evil Geniuses are set up mid lane. 4-man push under the tier 1 turret. It's a 2-to-1 turret count so far for the side of FlyQuest, but EG is going to tie that one up, bring this gold lead back up to 2,500 yet again.
All right, should be a reset as well. They can catch bottom wave here. I don't think Impact should fight this because they want to push top side. You've got Azir. Jojo is the only one up there. Should be able to get that wave into the turret. And the kind of rotation over towards bottom side here onto Kumo. They get a little bit of time of 2v1, but they should know this is not their side of the map. Good job there. Good communication from EG. They're on too many resets. They've got Jojo top side. They had Tahm Kench in base, so don't try and over chase on a tank.
Especially when you just had a breakout fight that really gave a meaningful lead for the first time in the game. You don't just want to immediately throw that back by inting into an Ornn. Evil Geniuses do not do that. They're up 7-3. Full kill participation on Danny. 2, 0, and 5. If it happened, he was a part of it. Very, very important stuff here on this Jinx. Gale Force, Phantom Dancer. Next crit cloak is also done. Man, they got to stop him from getting excited. They need to shut Danny down. Otherwise, I don't see how FlyQuest wins a fight.
Well, thankfully, they had the same idea that we did in Champ Select as far as stopping those resets and getting excited. It is going to be the rush for the Zhonya's for Volibear. So we do get that one. And with the bailout from Aphromoo, they're going to try and utilize as many of these combo breakers as possible. I will say that's going to get very difficult, though, as Danny continues to increase his weaponry here. He's so rich that he has tremendous burst damage, and he has also gone for the Gale Force. So not only can he try and use it to dodge Ornn ultimates, but he can even offensively use it, and we have seen him do this in order to get the first kill, get excited, and then chain that team fight.
Well, we've got 1 minute and 40 seconds here until our next Drake spawns. EG's gold lead continues going up. toucouille is positioned up there in the top side. He's not going to get caught out or anything. Finally just has the opportunity to reset a little bit here. JoseDeodo clearing out some vision, maintaining control over the top side river for the side of FlyQuest. Top laners are just playing their cross-map game here. They're over in the other side. They're doing their own thing. Farm it out, shove up the wave, who cares? Unleash teleports are ready to go for both of them, as well as for toucouille, but not for Jojo. His still isn't going to be up for another minute and a half or so, so that's an advantage that FlyQuest will have if anything can happen within that window. Unfortunately for them, it doesn't look like that's really going to be the case just yet. Drake spawning in 1 minute now. 2-to-1, still the count on those. I'm curious, what does FlyQuest need to change in this next fight besides just not getting blown up immediately? Yeah,
one of the problems here, it's almost going to be a full level or a full item advantage for Danny. If he can complete this Infinity Edge, it is just going to be an overwhelming difference. 2 to 3 item AD carry difference is so massive for team fights. And so EG actually trying to focus up on the top side first to draw them away from this setup. Meanwhile, Ornn actually walks all the way up the river, and FlyQuest going to try and get their 5-on-5. This is going to be their last attempt at 5-on-5 before Jinx gets an Infinity Edge. They've got to make it count.
Also worth pointing out that Guardian Angel on Inspired, like you were talking about earlier, saying how stopwatches and Guardian Angels and all the like are going to be so important this game. Inspired with the priority on that, and Kumo having only 40% HP, he's got to get back. He's got to get ready to rejoin the fray. The Drake is already gone. It's already taken. In the time that it would take Kumo to get back and TP back in, ooh, the Super Mega Death Rocket did hit him, but it was during the last quarter second of the recall, which means Kumo goes back anyway despite taking the damage. So that means that, hey, it doesn't cancel, but it doesn't matter. Drake's tied 2-2.
Plus, I agree with the call from FlyQuest not to expend resources down towards that dragon because, while it would be great for them to get Dragon Soul Point, get their third, hopefully try and work towards Soul, it's so risky with the differences right now to be able to force their way in, especially with the chunk on Kumo. So just give over number 2 to Evil Geniuses. It's not really dangerous in their hands, very far away from actually either team now getting Dragon Soul. So it just really extends that break point that that either of the teams is looking for. And Kumo's now level 13 on the Ornn, so he gets to start upgrading Ornn items for people as well. And FlyQuest can try and solidify their 5-on-5.
Right, at this point, the early Drakes that FlyQuest got are no longer an offensive resource to leverage for themselves. Instead, they're saying, okay, this early advantage bought us the opportunity to give these to EG without a real meaningful consequence and without having to throw our faces into an Infinity Edge blender that is now completed for Danny, that is now fully online and ready to go for EG. toucouille shoving up the top lane wave, will not be found out in time, gets himself away, gets back to safety. 0, 1, and 2 here on the Orianna, 2 major items completed. Has the Seraph's Embrace, has the Luden's Echo. Inspired is going to continue clearing out some vision, looking around. Kumo level 14 down here, just building up his Ornn items. A Ruby Crystal magically materializes in the inventory, working towards that Fimble winner next. All of his items are cold themed.
It's apt for the champion, and honestly, I'm having a hard time figuring out how FlyQuest are going to kill Danny. Their way into this looks very, very dangerous. It's got to come from a flank on him from a weird angle. They're going for a teleport now, and maybe the numbers advantage will be enough for them to set up. Impact gets chunked out a little bit, even heading over to it, but they can't quite catch Danny. He gets excited off the turret kill, which gives him enough move speed. They get out of there, so EG get the turret. They escape the teleport. They avoid the big cooldown there from FlyQuest, but Impact walks right in.
Impact takes some damage, gets himself back away. Jojo helping him disengage, and it's JoseDeodo, who's nearly dead already, tries to get out! Oh, that was a very important
Sonya,
stasis.
baby! Sonya!
That was a very important stasis, but even more importantly, the jungler's got 100 HP and Baron is alive. That means EG are making the call to go for it. JoseDeodo's back in the enemy base. The Ornn horn's already been sounded. Kumo's trying to tank up here in the front. Aphromoo is going to be taken very low now as well. Baron down to 1,000 HP. Baron secured by Inspired and Evil Geniuses. Johnsun tries to stay alive, but he cannot be bailed out. Kumo might just die to the rockets. Chompers over the wall won't get him, but Impact is chasing after toucouille. He's got to be careful as Aphromoo tries to continue running away now as well. Jojo's found his way back into the mid lane. The Chicken Emperor is ready. toucouille falls, and Aphromoo's going down next. EG just got Baron, they got 3 kills, and they got a fast ticket down the mid lane.
They got a fast ticket out of this series, Flowers. What a push it will be for EG. 5 with Baron buff. They should get an inhibitor off of this, and more. Bottom lane is getting pushed. Look at that teleport from Impact. He's wasting no time, so they're going to get mid as well as bottom resources here off the map.
Evil Geniuses, mid lane inhibitor. They destroy that one. They take down the bottom lane tier 2 turret. Now they'll have the opportunity to recall, reset, and then re-engage with 2 minutes still ready to go on that Baron buff and an 8,500 gold lead.
Very difficult trying to pick Gwen. It is a good peel here from Jojo, but also the W going down. What a combo. Impact puts the W, and then Azir pushes everybody back out of it. Then, since you've stumped Jose so low in that attempt for the pick, great Zonias, you get to live, but now the enemy knows that you cannot smite steal. So they're willing to flip it and just trust in the smite advantage for Inspired over the damage. I think maybe if Johnsun had not gone up around the back, never mind, we're gonna see another death here. EG get a pick, and they've got Baron. This should be them inside the base.
I like how toucouille tried to protect him with the shield as his health bar was ticking down from the bailout, but unfortunately that's not the way the ability works. So Aphromoo falls 20 seconds. Fortunately for him, because the supports are so much lower than everybody else in terms of level, his death timer is also going to be that much lower, so he'll be back up, but not quite in time to defend this tier 3 turret. Impact still providing the split push threat there in the mid lane. Inspired walking up behind him. The 3-man EG squad with Danny being the damage source just continues pressuring this bottom lane tier 3 inhibitor turret. That's already gone. Inhibitor now the target. I don't know what FlyQuest is supposed to do here, Kobe.
Well, they gotta try and kill Danny. He's got no summoner spells. Vulcan has ultimate, so that's the only safety that he's working off of right now. The problem is they don't have great dive. Ornn ultimate is available. That's long range. Maybe they could get 2 of them with it.
Okay. FlyQuest are trying to dig in and defend here. Ornn horn sounded off. They're looking for Danny. Oh, but Vulcan's immediately ready. This is why you draft the Kench. Jinx stays safe no matter what.
All right, is going to be Dragon number 3 picked up by Evil Geniuses. They're going to keep FlyQuest pinned inside their own base. toucouille going to make a rush for the objective bounty on the top turret, though.
Oh, no. But Gwen's already back there. Tahm Kench is already back there.
Hex gates, baby. Here we go.
Evil Geniuses. They're moving towards him. They've got him surrounded, Flowers. Impact's moving up. Vulcan's moving up. Oh, toucouille. Are you going to be all right there, buddy? Oh, Shockwave. Nice, nice.
Okay.
I don't think it's nice enough. Oh, Impact's just flashing in. There you go. Just chops him up. toucouille is down, and FlyQuest are now 4v5 for 45 seconds. Third Drake win over to EG. FlyQuest shoving up the mid wave. It's about all they can do. Inspired has still not lost that Guardian Angel. He's ready to go. Aphromoo trying to get away here in mid lane, but Vulcan is coming around. Afro's going to duck into the southern side of the jungle there with the rest of his teammates. FlyQuest trying to regroup. Impact shoving up that top lane wave, setting up Evil Geniuses to make this a 3-inhib game.
EG on a collision course with Cloud9 here. They are looking to end this series right now. 5 members, only 1 inhibitor left standing. Everybody coming top.
Well, for the sake of Vulcan's banter with Fudge on Twitter, Evil Geniuses really wants to win this one, and now Impact's backing up a little bit as Jose moved forward with the stun ready to go. Can't find a whole lot out of that one. Danny still with massive range, massive damage, and everything he needs to carry this game all the way to the end, carry Evil Geniuses to a 3-1 finish in this series against FlyQuest. FlyQuest are gonna need some sort of mistake from Evil Geniuses to capitalize on. This game is so far away from them at this point. Azir turret summoned up in mid lane just to give Evil Geniuses another bastion of defense to fall back to, give them another way to shut down any sort of a chance for FlyQuest to come back into this. Another minion wave coming up the top lane now. toucouille does have Shockwave. If nothing else, you can Shockwave the minion wave and just try to delete that to buy yourself a little bit more time. These are not baroned up. Danny gonna step forward, fire off a rocket or two. Yep, just the one. Back away yet again. It is a ticking time bomb here. Danny just continuing to get whatever poke he can. Inspired guiding those super minions in the mid lane. Couple super minions walking up bottom now as well. The pressure in mid and bottom lane from those inhibitors being destroyed is taking its toll on the top lane defense. Evil Geniuses have another wave colliding now as Impact and Inspired are providing threat elsewhere. Johnsun and JoseDeodo trying to defend at the Nexus while the remaining inhibitor turret dies. Danny gets excited and starts pouring auto attacks into the inhib. Kumo fires out the Ornn ulti, but it only gets a field goal between Vulcan and Danny. FlyQuest trying to hold on, man. Mid lane inhibitor respawn, but as soon as it does, it's dead again. EG spawn camping these things as FlyQuest has nothing left in the base but Nexus turrets. Baron is on the map yet again, and that's where EG is going. Vulcan's flash got used, but that is it.
You know, the most egregious use of spawn camping, I think, is still to this day in GoldenEye, rather than Nintendo 64 with proximity mines. You know, the spawn points of every single character. Jose is going in YOLO, he can steal it!
Okay, what? Nope.
Oh my god, okay. Aside from that, proximity mines.
I was gonna say, you were on a nice little tangent there, and then all of a sudden we have
we all, yeah. I was thinking it was done and dusted, but I love the yellow attempt there for Jose, and he even gets out with his life.
I mean, at this point in the game, you just got to go for whatever you might be able to find. He does make his way out with the Hex Gates there, so Jojo's not going to catch him. But Evil Geniuses now have 2.5 minutes of Baron. This is more than enough to end the game with. If for some reason they can't just walk into FlyQuest's base and end the game here in 70 seconds, they can just walk over and grab themselves a Hex Tech Soul. Jojo's gonna lead the charge, shoving up the wave here in mid. Rest of the team coming up behind him. Baron means these minion waves are incredibly hard to deal with. Double supers in every lane on every wave. Impact approaching from the southeast flank. At least I think, as long as north is top.
Yeah, sure. I'm here for it.
All right, I'm ready to go. Let's see it, FlyQuest. This is it. The last stand for the good guys here in this series. Impact leading that wave in, crashing multiple super minions. Impact's gonna survive the 3-man attempt at his own life while Johnsun's trying to do the same. Tries to stay alive. Impact goes on a killing spree. They cannot deal with the evil genius's top laner. EG's already found themselves a fighter, have they? Jojo's gonna die now, but Danny's still free firing. Afro's taken low, toucouille is taken low. JoseDeodo at half. Shut down onto Jojo's all they got so far. Johnson's dead now. toucouille is gone. Ladies and gentlemen, that's it. It's done. Evil geniuses win the series 3-1.
EG move on to their date with Cloud9. The lower bracket continues.
EG had a 5-game series against Team Liquid, came into this series against FlyQuest, started off strong. Game number 2 was the one that looked really rough for them, but even in that one, they managed to claw their way back, turn it into an absolutely insane game, and then they finish out the next 2. EG earned their win today.
Valiant effort from FlyQuest, pushing them a bit in that second game, and yet EG bouncing right back here, Flowers, picking up business as usual. They've got a lot to look forward to with this playoffs actually really heating up. Our top 4 teams trading blows here. The early season, anybody's game. Cloud9 taking over for points, Team Liquid taking over, but strong resurgence here. EG, I'm excited to see how high they can climb.
Next week's matches are going to be a lot of fun because we get TL versus 100 Thieves to decide who gets the fast pass into the final itself. And then we get EG versus Cloud9 to find out who's the third team who gets to go to Houston at all. You lose that match, you're watching it from the couch. That's not where you want to be.
That's a terrible feeling. As a player, not as a fan.
Right, as a fan, it feels fine, but as a player, you really want to you're that close. You're one step away for both EG and for Cloud9. For Cloud9, an org that is one of the few that has a banner here in our arena, they've done it time and time again. EG is still very new, very young players. They're the ones where the pressure is on, and I'm excited to see how they perform and if they can make it.
And they have been one of the teams thriving in that pressure, really feeding off the energy of the crowd thus far. So definitely shout outs to the evil geniuses as well as the crowd here. Big pop-offs. Danny deathless in this game. I want to see his series long KDA as well. Honestly, really, really big stuff from a lot of these EG members at different points in the game. Our MVP is going to be difficult.
Oh, yeah, we still have to vote on that, don't we? Yep.
We might need a replay or two.
Yeah, something like that. Evil reigns supreme today, though, which means we're joining the Tigress